say camera action.
Lights, camera,
Lights, camera, action.
Action.
That's it. That's it. Lights, camera, action.
Well, he's got it.
You guys are on.
Okay. We're just going to ask you some lovely questions, and you're going to do your best to answer them to your fullest capabilities. And most of them are you'll each
And we're
answer.
not
Are
allowed
they
to
true or
lie.
false, or
No, they're not true or false. You're going to actually explain here.
are they multiple choice?
Sure, but you have to come up with the choices and explain the choice that you make.
And Laura, my dear, I'd prefer you to sit back here so that they'll be talking to the camera.
Oh, would you prefer that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I want you to ask somebody.
Well, I will as well.
Put her on the director's chair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like she's on the director's
All
chair.
right, let me get my shoes off. Okay. So, first of all, what is your full name and why were you named it?
Who goes first?
You go ahead, Grammy.
My name is Genevieve Marie Maitney
Sure.
Barnes. I have no idea why I got the name Genevieve. My mother's middle name was Genevieve, but she left off the last VE and caused me nothing but problems. She did. From first day I went to school, and I wrote out my name, and my teacher said, "It's not the way you spell your name." I had to have my mother write a note and tell the teacher, "Yeah, that's the way you spell your name."
And you understand Kanaski.
Pardon?
You understand my pain going through with Kanaski.
Oh
Yes.
my, yes. yes.
Okay, Grandpa.
Donald Herman Hernor. I have no idea.
We have
No
dog
idea
interruptions.
Why they named me Donald. My dad's name was Herman, so that's where I got the middle name.
There you go.
That's the way it happened.
Well, it might be interesting to say that it wasn't always Hernor.
Yeah. What? Yeah. How did the name
Well, at
change?
one time, when he came over from Germany, the name was Hernor, and I guess my mom wasn't real fond of the name Horner, so they had it changed to Hernor.
And how did they change it?
Probably
Well,
had to
through
go
the
to
board,
the.
yeah.
Oh, it wasn't just
It was
a.
official. No, it was official.
Okay. It was on the up and up.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they
We're
didn't.
legal.
They didn't do it on their own.
Okay. So you were both named after someone else. Okay. There's question 2. Any nicknames growing up or in your adult life?
Jen.
Nicknames?
Jen. And that pretty much makes sense
Yeah.
because, and Dawn.
Diz.
Diz. What's Diz?
That was my
Who
nickname.
knows?
You don't know where it came
When
from?
I met him, that's what I always called him.
Everybody called
Diz?
me
Called him
Diz.
Diz. D-I-Z.
When
Diz.
did that end?
My uncle, Carl Fisher, named me that. And first time I ever had a ball mitt that really amounted to anything, he was playing on a softball team, and I was bat boy on the team, and would play catch with him. And he was a pretty good artist, and he put my name across the back of the glove, Diz.
And there it is.
There it
Well,
was.
Diz.
for Dizzy Dean or what?
I don't know.
Wasn't there a baseball player, Dizzy Dean?
You're
There was
asking the
thing
wrong
on
person.
TV the other day, it says, the guy said, "My friends call me Buffalo."
I
And
know.
I said, "Why?" He, "Don't know."
I have no idea.
Just my
It's the
name.
same thing with Diz, I don't know. But that's what, everybody called me that.
So, Grammy, when did you stop calling him Diz?
You know, I really don't know. I suppose because of his mother never called him Diz. And after we were married, of course, you don't call him Diz, you call him Don. And I'm sure that had something to do with it. But I really don't know when I stopped.
And then we had another friend that called me Donnie all the time, which I
Oh,
didn't like too
geez.
well.
Didn't
I
fly.
never called him Donnie.
Okay, good enough. Okay, we're still good. And you didn't have any, you were Jen.
Yeah.
That was nothing else.
Well, my brothers called me Sis. Hey,
Okay.
Sis.
Why were you sis? Because there were other siblings.
Yeah, but I was the oldest girl.
Okay. All right. Okay, so tell me about your families.
I'm the third. Actually, I was the fourth. They had my brother Lowell, and then a boy, Melvin, who died.
How old?
Well, just right after.
Birth.
Not at birth, but pretty soon after that. And a brother that was named after my dad, Wilbur. but we always called him Junior. Myself, then Kenneth, then Norma Jean, and then Joanne. So I was the oldest girl.
Therefore, sis.
There were 6 of us, yes.
And what have they all done? What are they doing?
Well, where'd you guys grow up?
Nebraska. Well, actually, yeah, basically Nebraska.
Where?
Hastings, Nebraska.
And what was that like?
It was a town that you would like to live in today. I mean, you know, if you could go back in time. It was just a nice little town.
How many people lived there when you were growing
I
up?
have no idea. It wasn't a large town, but as far as population, I don't know.
Like your school? How many people were at your school?
Not many. But there again, I couldn't tell you the exact number. I don't.
Just
I
a
mean, we
handful
didn't-
though? I mean, like maybe like 20?
Yeah.
More than that?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
In the whole school or in your class?
Oh, no, in my class.
Okay.
Now, Don can probably tell you more about his, because he, go ahead.
Well, my family history is pretty short. No brothers, no sisters.
You're it?
So that was it.
Was that intentional?
Apparently so.
As far as you know.
They saw me and said, "Oop, that's enough, no more." And as far as school, is that what you said about school?
Yeah, school, growing up, where you grew up.
Well, yeah, where were you?
Yeah, well,
Where'd you
tell
grow?
A good cross-reference street would be West Colfax and Gray Street, or Harlan. That's basically where we lived, right in there.
So was that still considered Denver, or was that?
No, it was called Mount Air.
I think
back
it was
then.
Edgewater.
No, it was never Edgewater, it was Mount Air. The school was called Mount Air, and when I first started going to school there, they had a little building that, I think it housed the first 3 grades, and that's all there was. I don't know where the kids went after that, but anyway, while I was in that time period, they built a new school and had all the grades in it, from first grade to high school, all in the one building, which is pretty nice. They had a pretty nice school. I went there all 12 years, except for 3 months that went to school in Los Angeles in the 3rd grade, when my dad went out there to work because of the big earthquake. They had such a tremendous amount of broken glass that he worked out there for probably 6 months replacing glass for Tyler Brothers Glass Company.
Okay, and real quick, this is backtracking, but where were you born? The date, hospital?
Oh, I was born in 3/15/26 in a house at 1380 Harlan Street, and that's where basically I grew up, right in that neighborhood.
He was born home.
And
Was that intentional, or was that
No.
you were surprised?
That's the way.
And
So it
I
was
stayed
done.
within 2 blocks of there till I was 17.
Wow.
He's a true Colorado native.
Yes, he is.
Yep.
What about you, Grammy?
You know, I was born in Blackwell. No, I was born in Peckham, Oklahoma. And I really don't, I didn't live there long enough to know anything about it. And from there they went to Nebraska.
How old were you when you moved?
Well, I don't know, I was too young. I mean,
Don't remember.
little.
Okay, good.
What was your birth date?
Oh yeah. Yeah, we didn't get birth dates on either of you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don got
he
this.
gave
Oh.
his September 13th, 1928.
Okay. Very good. And what year was the earthquake? Backtracking again.
The what?
The earthquake.
What
33?
year?
Yeah.
What
That
grade
must have
school?
been
3rd grade.
1933. So he was working out, it was either in 33 or 34.
Okay.
I was
Yeah.
in the 3rd grade.
Well, you must have been, that must have been a little more than that. If you were born in 26 to 30, you'd be 4 years old. So 33, you'd be 7. You wouldn't be in 3rd grade.
Well, I don't know. It was in the 3rd grade, whatever.
Whatever year that
We
was.
can look that up.
You figure.
Yeah, we
Close
can
enough,
find that.
close
All
enough.
right.
You figure.
You
Okay.
do the math.
Good enough. Okay, do you remember hearing your parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, anyone discuss their lives and anything that stood out about those?
Not really.
You don't remember that?
You might, because your mother was more inclined to. We just didn't keep track of family.
My grandparents, my grandma Fisher, she had 10 acres from Colfax.
Well, she brought your dad from Germany.
Yeah,
Are you gonna ask this later?
No, go.
she came over here when my dad was 2 years old. He was born in Germany, and she brought him over.
In Muchenthal, Germany.
Lukenthal, Germany. She brought him over here, and she had a sister that was already over here that lived in Euclid, Ohio. So she came over, and she left my dad in Euclid, Ohio, and he stayed there till he was 13.
She came out here.
This aunt raised him.
Why?
I don't know why Grandma didn't want to bother with him. She came to Colorado, got married again, and my dad always said, well, yeah, when I got old enough and big enough to work, then they sent for me to come to Colorado and work on the farm, and
Thank you, James.
that's
You're welcome.
basically
Doing
right.
a lot of
That's what,
talking.
that's what they did. And he had a pretty tough time.
He did.
Not so much tough time ever getting along with people or anything like that. He always got along good with things, but they made him work. He used to have to, in the winter time, before he would go to school when he was, I'd say 13, 14 years old, he'd have
This
to,
was in Colorado?
Yeah.
That was right on Colfax and Fenton is where they lived. And that's where they had their farm, you know, that they did. It was all truck farming, cabbage and berries and celery and all that stuff. He would have to get up in the morning, hitch up a team of horses, and go down to the Tivoli Brewery, which was at the end of the Colfax Viaduct, and hand load a load of manure on the wagon, come back home, unhook the horses and put them away.
Well, the reason for the manure, you might explain.
Well, it's for the gardening,
They
the
did.
hotbeds and everything they raised and everything. And then he would put the horses away, and he said they always had a lot of sausage hanging in the basement and bread. He said he'd cut him off a hunk of bread and grab a hunk of sausage and go to school.
Yeah, but tell about when he was just a kid. How he had his own spot
Oh,
at the bar.
Down at the Tivoli Brewery, he had
When he,
his,
I mean,
he was
I'm
like
sure those people felt sorry for him.
13,
He
14
does.
years old. He said they used to, evidently it was kind of like a little bar and restaurant even back then, and he said they always gave him sandwiches, and he had his own beer can hanging on a post, and he said it was always right there. He had all the beer he wanted. So
And did he want beer when he was that young? That was a good thing?
He worked hard. He was a hard worker. And
But then, I mean, he had a hard life, but so did my parents. I
oh
mean,
yeah,
My dad worked in oil fields in
right.
Oklahoma.
Well, anything you could do to.
That's right.
But he was young at that time, like I say. They came out here. In 1913 is when they had the biggest snowstorm that Colorado has ever had. They had something like 10 feet of snow
Wow.
Wow.
just at that one time, and everything was shut down. There was I'll always remember Dad saying there was a ice cream truck that evidently from wherever they made the ice cream, they hauled it to the St. Anthony's Hospital. And it got snowed in right in front of their place there on Colfax. So he said they had all the ice cream they wanted. And
Not
he
too shabby.
he was not really a rounder, as you could say, but he used to get around quite a bit. He loved to shoot pool, and there was always a pool hall. You know, every small town had a pool hall, and he'd hang out there a lot. I guess he was a pretty good pool player.
And then how did he and your mom meet?
Do what?
How did he and your mom meet?
Actually, they were neighbors.
Really?
Her dad had a dairy farm right next to where Grandma Fisher had the truck farm. And that's how they met.
And what was her upbringing like? Do you know much about it? Sorry, phone.
And,
Hold on.
What was the other thing I was going to tell you?
She only had one sister.
She had one sister. Older, about 8 years older. And, oh my, I was going to tell you about my grandpa.
Oh,
My
yes.
Grandma Fisher was man, you talk about a hard-working person. I mean, she worked in those fields from daylight till dark,
Well, hotbeds,
the
really.
hotbeds, and they raised everything, you know. And then when it get dark, they'd come in the wash house and wash the celery and get ready for market the next morning. And it was a lot of cold, hard work. And Grandpa Fisher, he really liked his beer. And I've seen him more than one time laying out on the street. I mean, he would be drunk and he couldn't go anymore. That's where he'd end up.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, he was a drinker.
Oh, yeah.
And in this house
We're learning.
Yeah.
Grandpa and Grandpa lived in, he was always good to me. And when he'd cultivate, he'd always let me go along with him. Sometimes I'd ride on the back old Bessie, and as he was cultivating, and he would cuss at her. He said, "Come on, Bessie, you son of a..." He'd swear at her, and I guess I must have picked on her because I'd say, "Come on, Bessie, you..." That's how a kid
Son
would
of
say,
a bitch.
"Son of a bitch," or something like that. And chewed tobacco all the time. And I don't know if you know what a fainting couch looks like. You probably
yeah.
do, a leather rounded thing. Well, they had one of those on their back porch. And in the summertime, he would come in, eat his lunch, and first thing he'd done after lunch, he'd go to the couch, and he'd always have a nap for a couple hours before he'd go back out in the field. And he would take his shoes off. And I'm telling you, you never smelled anything so bad in all your life. His feet, it smelled like they were making sauerkraut in there. It was terrible, but that's just the way it was. And whether he ever took a bath or not, I don't know.
Do you actually remember all this, or
Oh,
is
I
this just
definitely
what your
remember.
mother told
No,
you?
I remember it. Clear as can be. And then down
Smells
in
the
their
strongest
basement,
scent.
he had one of
Wait,
these
smells the
little
strongest
stand
scent.
things that comes up with like an iron foot on it. And he used to do his and Carl's and her own shoes. He fixed their own shoes. And they always had a great big crock of...
Well, today, they probably don't even know about resole and all that. I mean, they don't do that anymore.
Soles and heels. And they always had a great big crock of sauerkraut going down the basement. But boy, I'm telling you, his feet were something else. And they had a big dog. It was a big collie. His name was Kaiser. And they kept him chained all the time because he was not the nicest dog. And I'd say I don't know many words in German, but I do remember that because I heard it enough times. Grandma Fisher would go out there and, "You Schweinhund, I schluck you in the Kopf." She would talk to old Kaiser. But,
So did you know German?
did she?
Did you?
No, I hardly knew any German. I just pick up a few words here and there, you know.
What about your dad?
He could understand a little bit of it, but
I never heard him say a word of
no, he never spoke it at all.
it. Or your mother.
No.
Yeah, then what about, so they met because they lived next to each other, but what about her history?
Oh, let's see. Didn't she start working for the phone
No,
company or
I
something?
about her parents.
Oh,
They-
her
they-
parents?
Yeah, anything.
Well, I think they came from the old country.
From
And-
Germany
You
also?
think, but you don't know, huh?
Well, I'm sure they must have. They settled in Edgewater, and
Her dad was a butcher.
he had a dairy and they did their own butchering, and he had a horse and wagon that he would go around the neighborhood selling, meat that he would have butchered that day.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I should have kept, I didn't do it, I played with it for years and years. He had a bugle, just an old brass bugle that he would blow to let people know that
He was coming.
the meat man was coming, just like the ice man. And then Carl, they had a son, Fisher and Grandma Fisher, they had this boy, Carl. And when I was probably 10 years old, Carl was probably 19. Probably that much difference between us. But it was Carl's job in the summertime they had a Model T truck. He had to load that truck up at night. And every morning he'd have to go down to the market, which was right along Cherry Creek in Colfax. All the farmers would come down there and they'd all pull their trucks in and sell whatever they were growing.
Kind of like our farmers market today.
Same thing, same difference. And sometimes, by daylight, he'd be sold out. And I used to go with him down there in the old Model T truck. And
What time of the morning did you have to get up to do that?
I don't know, but it was well before daylight, that's for sure. It was dark, because he used to get down
And you
there.
did it for fun.
Hmm?
You did it for fun?
I did it just to go along. And he did it because they wanted to sell the produce. But he was really good to me. He took me so many places when I was little. He'd take me
Is
down
this
to
the one you went on his honeymoon?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the one.
He took me down to Sloan's Lake lots of times to go fishing. And
I didn't know this till just a while back, but his parents and they all went on their
Yeah.
honeymoon.
I think you told us that story. So how did that come to be?
And let's see, what else did Carl do? Oh, took me to all the ball games when I was bat boy for their team. Lakewood Merchants was the name of the team.
But Carl went to
Mines.
Mines for a while. He didn't graduate, but
He got so wild with the girls, he had more girls on his mind than he did school, and he dropped out. And his mom and dad, Grandma and Grandpa Fisher, were pretty nice to him. They bought him it must have been about a 32 or 34 Chrysler, new Chrysler car with fancy wooden wheels.
oh my gosh.
And, yeah,
What did they do for your dad?
nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. So, anyway, he resented all those things.
Your dad. Well, could you blame him?
And one time, when Grandma Fisher died, Dad never did get over a lot of the stuff that they did for Carl, and did nothing for him but made him work.
Why?
And
Was
Well,
he the
there-
oldest or the
see-
younger?
He's the
No.
older.
You didn't tell either. There was Johnny someplace in
Yeah,
there.
but he was never in the picture.
I know, but it's still, for history, Don,
Yeah,
he had a stepbrother.
another half-brother
Yeah.
named John Fisher. It was in between.
Was his name Fisher, or what? Did she have another husband?
No, he went by the name of Fisher.
I know, but it wasn't. He
They were
wasn't
all three from different guys.
Yeah. different.
One of them was Brant, I think.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Anyway, he spent most of his life in Oklahoma working in the oil industry. He was a salesman for Oil Well Supply Company. And he traveled all over Canada and all over that part of the country up there selling oil well supply, so we saw very little of him, hardly at all.
So no, your grandma had 3 sons by 3 different men. Is that right? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And your grandfather, was that who she ended up with?
No.
No.
Well, the only grandfather he knew.
Yeah, Fisher.
Okay, but he wasn't your biological grandfather.
No,
Okay.
no.
Okay. Okay.
But,
Okay.
like I say, Carl treated me real well, took me everywhere. In fact, we used to, after he got married one time to a girl there in Mount Ayr, she lived around Mount Ayr, really nice young girl, but she was really young. And that didn't last very long. they split up and got a divorce. And then he started going with another gal that was older. They got married.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that didn't last too long. They got divorced. And then he started going with Dorothy. And she was going to school up in Greeley. And Carl was driving a 37 Chevrolet. And I used to go up there a lot with him. At night after work, he'd go up to see her, and I'd always ride along with him. And all along that highway, I don't know what it is, the highway still runs along there. There was a train that run along those tracks too, probably going to Greeley and from there on. And more than one time, he'd race that train up there just fast that old Chevrolet would go.
Safe.
Chugging along, keeping up with that train. And then one night, he was working after all of this, well, the first 2 divorces, and then I think my dad put him to work down at Pittsburgh, was teaching him to be a glazer. And early one morning he was coming home from Greeley. I guess he'd stayed up there half the night, and he went to sleep and ran into the end of the, it was called the Broadway Extension Viaduct, and totaled his car and didn't do him any good. But man, my dad was mad at him because he looked after him, you know, and his younger brother tried to set him straight, but I don't remember Carl drinking hardly very much. He wasn't a drinker, but he was a carouser.
He's a womanizer.
Yeah, he loved the women.
So did he stay with Dorothy?
Yeah.
They had 2
They
sons.
have 2 boys. One of them lived in
Tacoma.
Tacoma, Washington. He doesn't anymore. He moved to California. The other one's in Phoenix. So
And she's still alive. And that's about all
Dorothy
the
is,
family you had left.
Dorothy's alive. She's 80-something. She lives in Phoenix. Yeah, that's the only relative anymore.
Yeah.
What did your dad do for a living?
My dad?
Yeah.
Well, he started out about probably 1925
I don't know.
as a flunky at McPhee and McGinnity Glass Company. And
What's
the
a
name
flunky?
Was flunky.
What's that?
Sweeping the floor and whatever they want him to do.
Okay.
And the name is still on that building down on Blake Street. If you drive down Blake Street, you'll see a building down there, say McPhee and McGinnity. And then he got into, they were teaching him the glazing end of it. And he got to be a glazer. And they finally closed up or something. I don't remember what happened to McPhee and McGinnity. And then he went to work for Pittsburgh. But I've got a letter at home. In fact, we just ran across it here again the other day, that from McPhee and McGinnity, and it was a pretty nice letter about me when I was born. He said, "We don't know why your dad didn't tell us sooner that you came along, but anyway, we're putting $10 in something for you, and hopefully someday it'll be." But it was a really nice letter from that. That would have, you know, been 26. Then he worked at Pittsburgh for, oh gosh, probably into the 40s as a glazer, and he worked out of town a lot. He worked in Wyoming a lot of the time. He always take the train to wherever he was going. And then he got to be warehouse.
So what's a glazer?
As a glazer, yeah.
What's that?
What is that?
Yeah.
Just going out and installing storefronts and plate glass windows and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
Then he got the job as warehouse foreman for Pittsburgh. And then he had kind of control over everything, the glazers and the warehouse, and the beveling shop. And he did that for, well, actually, when I first went to work for Western Glass in 1945.
And that was Carl again that got
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got me going there. And I worked there a year and quit and went back over to Pittsburgh. And my dad was still working there. He was just about ready to leave there. I know I did a few jobs. He'd send me out to Wyoming and here and there to do some work, and he was the boss man on it. And then he kind of gave it up and started building, messing with the motels, and that's what he did the rest of his.
And what
Rest of his
motels
time,
did they
yeah.
do?
But
What motels did they have?
Oh, he had the first one was by Taylor's Supper Club. It was called the Moon Glow. It was on West Colfax. And then he built the Westway on West Colfax.
did they build that? I didn't know they built
Yeah,
that.
they built that.
So he was the owner-operator of all of these?
They operated it, built it and operated it.
Well, the Westway, they didn't Moonglow, did they? Did they buy that?
They bought
I
it.
didn't
They
know
bought
they
it
did.
and operated it. And then he had two
Like-
up in Granby.
Yeah, but in between that, I know they were just,
Well, then they operated that one
Yeah.
for
They
Steiner
didn't own
down
it.
in Colorado Springs.
no, and the one out on West Colfax,
Yeah,
they
those-
didn't own that.
No, they just ran it for somebody. Just, I guess for something to do, they kinda liked that.
Then go ahead, they built one.
Then they built one, they bought one up in Granby and sold it, and then they built Trail Riders up there in Granby and sold that.
Are any of them still around? Are any
The
of them
motels?
still around? Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, the
yeah,
one up in Granby, they did
really
very
nice.
nice.
It's
It is. I mean, it's old, but they have kept
It's
it up
really-
so well.
really kept up. And
What's
that
it
was
called
built
now?
1950.
Same thing.
Really?
Trail Riders, same. I've designed the sign out front with the guy riding the horse.
Still up?
Still up there. Had a guy out on South Broadway make it and put the neon and stuff on it.
Very good. Okay, Grammy, what do you remember about your parents, grandparents, anybody?
Well, I don't remember all that much really. And with 6 kids, you know, I didn't have that attention and that. I mean, I'm not feeling sorry for myself, but really you don't with that many children. And then we were a poor family. We didn't know we were poor, but we were with 6 kids. And my dad didn't have any real trade, you might say. He worked, they had the most money probably when he was working the oil fields in Oklahoma. And then he just kind of did everything he could to anything to raise the family.
What were
And-
some of his jobs?
Oh gosh, he drove a truck for a gas company for a long time. Then he was in Hastings, he was in welding. He did welding at a sheet metal place. When we came out here, you know, we came out here, we moved out here because a lot of his family was out here.
And when did you do that?
I was a sophomore in high school. You figure.
Okay.
You do the math.
All right. Good enough.
So, and he never did have a trade until he started painting, and then he was his own
Stuck
painting.
with that for a long
And
time.
he had his own painting business.
Painting, like house painting?
Yeah.
Okay. And where did you move to in Colorado?
Welby.
Welby.
How old were you?
Sophomore in high
I was a
school.
sophomore in high school. But growing up in Hastings we had a good life. I mean, as I say, we didn't have a lot of money, but we didn't realize that. We just had a fun
Yeah,
time, doing not much of anything.
At that time, you could go to the grocery store and for $5 come back with
Yeah, I do remember
2
that.
big sacks of groceries, as much as you
yeah,
could carry.
Really, you could feed a family. And as a kid, we had some of my parents' friends had a farm, and we did go out there quite a bit, and they'd come to our house quite a bit. They had 3 children, and where they lived, they usually always made homemade ice cream when we went out there. And also where they lived, there was a stream not too far. That's where we'd go swimming. So we had a good life. It didn't seem like it was doing the things you did, but we had a fun time.
One more thing I'll tell you, then you can go on about Grandpa Fisher that I'll always remember. On Easter morning, They lived about a block from us. There was an irrigation ditch ran all along there. We had a path along there from house to house. Here'd come Grandpa Fisher toting his shotgun. Okay, let's go get that Easter rabbit. I'll always remember when I was a little kid, he'd come up on Easter and wanting to go with him to shoot that rabbit.
I think I remember some signs and guns at your house on Easter
Yeah,
about
really.
finding the Easter bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and see, I didn't have grandparents that lived close to me, so I don't have any grandma and grandpa stories like that. In fact, my mother, her parents, sometime when she was younger, which was unheard of at that time, got divorced. And her mother moved to California and married a man by the name of Baker, who I never knew. I mean, I never knew her mother or him at all. I did know my grandmother Barnes after we came to Colorado. I didn't know her before that. To my knowledge, I don't think I ever even met her before that time. But my dad's dad committed suicide. And I don't know any of the details. And then my grandmother married a man by the name of Snare. So just for history. And she lived with him until they died. I mean, she didn't have 2 or 3 husbands.
Yeah. Okay.
no, wasn't my
Just
Grandma
remember
Fisher.
these things.
Yep.
And Grandma Fisher, thinking about Grandma Fisher, I'd always wanted to go to the archives down there at the library and see if I could find it. When she came to Colorado, she started working as a cook at the, what was it, the
Some hotel.
Blue,
I don't know.
what's Blue Parrot? Got it written down, some
Hotel.
hotel downtown, and she was a cook there for a lot of years.
But that was so many years back there,
Oh.
you know, that
Yeah, that would have had to been about probably 1902,
isn't this
1903,
fascinating?
It is.
1903, something like that.
Okay, so tell me about growing up, like your childhoods, what you remember vividly.
Me?
Sure.
Well, I think you pretty much got him covered, don't you?
Yeah, we got a lot of
I
things.
think really the first things I vaguely remember, and I can't tell you how old I was, we lived on a farm, or at least out rural, and we had a goat because my brother, the junior, had some kind of a heart problem, and the doctor said if he had to drink goat's milk. So we had a goat, and we also had this, which you won't know what I'm talking about, but we had a chicken brooder where we raised, you know, like Grandpa was telling you with the chicks. Well, the goat, he said, that goat would get up on the top of our car. I mean, it would.
They're climbing.
And one day, I don't know, for some reason, it decided to chase me, and it chased me, and I ran up on that chicken brooder, and I still have on my head that, where it cut me open. I never liked goats after that. And other than that, I mean,
So did you
know,
play like sports? Did you have a job
I
growing
hated
up?
gym.
Hated gym?
The only thing I did was babysit. I would babysit and
Did you make money doing that?
make enough money to go buy some fabric and
How much?
some buttons, and
How much was that? What did that cost, and how much did you get paid for babysitting?
about maybe a quarter or so, 50 cents. And for 50 cents, you could go buy fabric and buttons or something. And my mother would make me a dress.
Cool.
But I never really. We always lived out, and we usually always had one car, so there was no way to get to a job.
Mm-hmm.
So, besides, I was pretty busy at home helping my mother with the kids and the cleaning and the,
So what was the age span between the 6 of you?
about 2 years each child.
Any other childhood memories? Anything that's vivid in your mind?
No, not vivid that I can recall at the moment. no.
Okay, if you think of anything when Grandpa talks,
Yeah.
come back. You remember anything else, Grandpa?
Oh, I remember, yeah, as a kid, one thing that we did every summer, it was a summer ritual. We lived where there was an irrigation ditch, And we'd either play in that ditch, or we'd just go off in the field a little ways from the ditch, and we dug us a big hole. And I mean, pretty good sized hole, and we turned the ditch into it and filled it up with water, and that's where we had our swimming hole.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah,
ingenious.
I remember now. I remember too also when we lived in this little town. Lowell and Junior and I all had whooping cough at the same time. And this place we had quite a bit of ground, and it had a big watering, what would you call it,
Horse
tank?
tank, yeah.
Yeah,
Water
but
trough.
big. You could get in there. We kids could get in there. And there was a doctor lived next door to us. And we would love to get in there. And we'd start coughing and go over to the side of the tank.
Nice.
Mama said, I just don't think they should be doing that. And the doctor next door said, it's fine. Leave them alone.
What does whooping cough do?
You
I know they
just-
vaccinate now, but
Yeah. You just cough, 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 and throw up, and
on your merry way.
yeah. Go on and play some more, and then cough some more.
Something else we used to do in the summertime a lot was build these little go-karts. Or we called it a chug or a go-kart. And boy, it didn't amount to much. It was a 2x4 with a couple of wheels attached to it, the front and the back, and a couple ropes to steer it with, and some place to sit on it. And we lived on Harlan Street, and there was a pretty good hill there. And we used to run up and down that hill with those things all the time. And about half the time it'd fly apart, and you'd have to take it back and put some more nails in it.
Well, and those roads weren't paved either, so.
Oh no, they were just gravel. Yeah.
Was Colfax paved at the time?
No, not when I was born.
Wow.
No, it was a dirt road.
Or you like Diane, you remember when you were born?
Well, I know it was because when I was little and would get sick, we lived a block off of Colfax, and when the doctor, they'd have to get the doctor to come out, whatever was wrong with me, to come. My mom would have to take,
They don't even realize that doctors used to make house
oh
calls.
yeah, she'd have to take a pair of boots and walk down a block to Colfax, and because the roads and streets, you know, at times when the weather was bad, it was so bad they couldn't drive in on them, so. And then
She'd have to go
the
through again.
doctor would walk up the house. Yep. No, I
So
remember-
did she have to go to the doctor's house to get him to have him
No.
come over?
No, they had phones.
You call him up.
And I remember in that house we lived in, actually we lived in, first off we lived with Grandma Knoll, and I vaguely remember her. I don't remember him at all because he died before I was even born, I think, but I do remember her. She had a big old wooden cook stove in the kitchen, and man, if I knew the doctor was coming, I'd get behind that stove and I'd get a hold of those pipes back there, and they'd have tough trouble getting me out of there. Yep,
It's like Donette used to.
yeah.
Doctor had to come out to our house. And he always had us boil the needles.
Boil the needles.
So we put that pan of water on. He says, do I have to have a pokey?
Boy, he did too. With penicillin, he gave it to all of them.
Boy. Okay, so now unless you think of anything else, and we can go back if we need to, but tell us about how the two of you met.
Simple blind date.
Who
Yeah.
set you up?
Kid I went to school with, buddied around with, Ray Sharon,
This is high school?
knew a girl. In fact, he
No, we were out
had
of high school.
dated her a couple times.
More than a couple. Virginia?
Virginia Chancho. And Virginia lived out by Jen. And I don't know, I guess Virginia said, well, why don't you go with us this night? So we went to
Zeets for
Zietz's
dinner.
restaurant down on 8th and Osage, down
What
the
was
railroad
Zeitz?
yards. And that old restaurant's still there too.
Have you been there?
Mm-mm.
It's the one with all the wild animals all over. Oh, it's old.
And then we, after we did that, we went bowling.
So this was a group date.
no,
just four
the
of
four
us.
of us.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
Blind date.
two of you, two couples.
And then I scared her and took her home.
Yeah. Go ahead, tell them how you scared me.
It probably was, as I recall, it was probably about March.
It was in winter time.
Well, I think it was about March, and it snowed that night, and the streets were really slick, and so, you know, making
Show
a
off.
lot of spins around.
He was doing donuts to impress.
She didn't go for it.
What kind of car was that?
It was a 40 Ford, 1940 Ford.
And what year was this date?
Probably 1946 or 7.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
so
would
then how did it lead to this?
Lead to marriage?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I had another couple of guys that I had.
Yeah.
I was interested in.
So how'd you decide Grandpa was the one?
Oh, she
He
knew.
pursued.
She knew she was picking the right one.
Oh yeah.
No question about it.
Did you pursue me? Yes.
Yes, I did.
How did you pursue her?
Well,
Well, for one
bothered
thing,
her a lot, called her a lot.
so you told me,
Yeah.
the one guy I was going with had a
Yeah,
convertible.
right.
So
So I
he
sold
found
my
that out.
I sold my 40 Ford convertible and bought a 47 Ford convertible.
Showed him.
I'll show him.
I don't know, just through time, I guess,
Yep.
decided, it's not so bad.
Time to do it.
That's okay.
Okay,
See
so
what I
then
did
how did you propose? Wait, how long did you date for before you got engaged?
I'm going to say a couple of years.
No, it was not
She
that
said it
long.
wasn't that long, but
No. Because
Well, what year did you get married? We could probably figure it out.
1948.
Okay, and that was in
And-
46, you said.
And I know that I was over 18 at that time, because I got engaged to another guy before him,
Oh,
and I know I was 18. And I married him a week before I was 20, so
Grandpa.
you do the math again, you know?
yeah.
Okay, so how did you propose?
You know, I don't know, I think we just kept going together and just figured, well, I don't really remember that you ever got down on your knees
No.
or anything and said, nothing like you guys did, you know,
No,
where,
no.
No sailing in the.
nah,
No.
nothing exciting like that,
No.
nah.
I don't really don't know, but
I remember going in and waking up with the folks and saying, look,
it was nothing earth-shattering that I remember.
no, just kind of
Decided to do it.
materialized.
That's it.
And then how long did it take before you got married, or after you got engaged? Was it a year-long thing,
Oh, no.
planning,
No.
just a couple months?
I'd say probably 6 months,
Yeah, not over that.
no.
And where'd you get married? And tell us about your wedding.
We were married at Washington Park Community Church. We had 2 bridesmaids. You had,
One best man.
and then my 2 brothers.
Were your bridesmaids your sisters?
No, they were young.
Oh, okay.
No, one was my friend and one was my sister-in-law, Lowell's wife. Nothing
We
really.
had
We didn't have a big reception at a hall. We had a reception at Don's
we
parents'
decorated
house
the garage, matter of fact.
in the backyard with the
In the backyard.
lanterns, and
Had it in the garage.
we have
And,
pictures to verify that.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
and the guy that was our photographer
Oh, jeez.
that was supposed to take pictures.
Well, he did take
Yeah,
pictures.
he did take pictures. But when they got ready to leave, he took the
Whole bottom layer of our wedding
wedding
cake.
cake, took it with him. Yeah.
That was his payment, he thought.
I guess.
Got ready to leave that night. We were going to Colorado Springs. And went out to get the car, and here's Carl laying up on the hood with his feet on the hood, his back on the
This is his uncle.
windshield, just laying there. Said something like, well, you can't stay up here. Well, yeah, he's I'm going to stay up here. And then the car wouldn't start.
Oh.
They had taken the rotor out of the distributor. Couldn't get the car started. So after
Nothing simple like just put some tin cans on
Yeah.
it or
much
something.
messing around, we finally got the car started, got underway, didn't get too far down the road, and here come the policeman.
Uh-oh.
Is you in a hurry to get someplace? I said, yeah. I said, go to Colorado Springs.
Where were you going?
Colorado Springs.
But
First night of our
just
marriage.
to a hotel.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, motel.
Motel.
Nevada Motel.
I don't know if that's still there or not.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, he gave us a little lecture about slowing down a bit,
No ticket?
and away we went.
No ticket.
Well, how nice of him.
Then we went to the motel, we stayed there that night. Next morning we got up and went to a restaurant just down the road a little ways, and we get some breakfast. And you know, I mean, it wasn't like today, thousands of people around. And here come the guy from the motel, he said, lady, he said, you forgot your shoes.
Got under the bed.
So he brought the shoes down at the restaurant.
How nice.
Oh, fun. We had a really nice honeymoon though.
Yeah,
What'd
we
you do
did.
for your honeymoon?
We had a car. Of course, he got another car.
Yeah,
You were
it was
quite
my-
the car guy even back
Yes,
then,
yes,
Grandpa.
he's
That
always
was
been
my
a car guy.
first new car. It was a 1947 Chev Aero sedan. And we went down through New Mexico, Texas, off into Arizona, over to San Diego or Tijuana or someplace in there, and all the way up the coast through California, Washington, Oregon.
Wow, that was quite a
And,
honeymoon. How long did it take you?
A couple of weeks.
Yeah.
What do you remember most about it?
You what?
What do you remember most about it? What was your favorite part?
Oh, you don't want me to tell you.
Well, besides that, what was your favorite part?
I think just travel, you know, really. We
Yeah.
seeing different things.
Had you been to all those places before?
Well, heck no.
No.
The first I'd been was like when I was, fairly young yet. We would come out here to Colorado, in the summer to see my dad's
family.
relatives. Now, if that wasn't fun with 6 kids in the car,
Yeah, what kind of car could you fit all the kids in? Man.
Three things I remember really vividly about it. One was down in, I don't know, Yuma Bend, Arizona.
yeah.
It was hot.
Oh,
It was
hot,
September,
very
but
hot.
boy, it was hot. And we came out of the restaurant that night. We were going in or coming out, and I'm telling you, you couldn't step on the ground without squashing these big bugs. I mean, there was millions of them all over everything. And
You can't imagine. I mean, really,
Yeah.
unless
It
you
would gross
experience
me out.
it, you can't.
then we
It's
stopped in
crunch,
San
crunch.
Francisco and saw this friend of Mom's that called me
Yeah.
Donnie. They lived there. We stopped and saw them. Went out to dinner with them that one night.
Mhm.
And then we went on up the coast and we got up there in the redwoods
Oh, gosh.
someplace and was driving too late, couldn't find a place to stay, and finally found a little old cabin. And the pack rats in that thing at night, you could hear them running.
Running.
She kept saying, what's that, what's that? I said, oh, it's probably a deer out on the porch. Well, it was the
Oh,
pack
gullible me.
rats
Okay.
running around.
You
did
say so. Oh, dear.
So,
But it was,
yeah, it was good.
Good honeymoon. Okay, and I think we should switch
How's your
tapes.
time doing?
Let's switch it just to be safe. We're
Yeah,
doing
we're-
good.
We're doing.
Now we're getting into the two of you and then going forwards. We got the major history stuff.
You asked about school.